All right, welcome to another Art Talk. So today I wanted to talk about two major functions I think that we got to have, or the ability to have. And number one is, I've mentioned it before, is confidence. And number two is handling pressure. So we're dealing with confidence and pressure. And those two things are going to go hand in hand and are going to get you pretty far. And why are they going to get you far? Because I think the confident artist, the confident person, is the one who's able to show their work, speak up at an event, take some challenges, take some risks. There's a lot of other things that are going to start to build from confidence. And one of the main things is if you have that ability and can say, okay, one of the things that scares the daylight out of me, and this is a very common thing, is speaking on a Zoom call. Speaking in front of people. People might make fun of me. They might say something about me. They might think it's stupid. All these internal voices, all these things going on in your head a million miles an hour. And the reality is that same thing is going to happen when you're working with a client for the first time or multiple times. Anytime there's a new client or you need something at your job and you need to speak to the producer, your boss, whatever it may be, it's all about the confidence factor. So if you have the ability to have confidence in like little milestones, little things, just speaking up when you want to speak up and say something, that's going to transition to the big days when it comes when you need it, when you got to deal with that client, that person is screwing you out of something maybe you did a job for them and they haven't paid you yet or something else is going on. These are the things that you're going to have the confidence not to just sit down and be quiet and silent, but to say something about the situation. All right. So that's going to be a very important reason why you got to develop confidence. And if you find that you're not getting maybe jobs or work or missed out on opportunities, maybe that could have something to do with it, that because of your lack of confidence in yourself and your ability and everything else, but your lack of just sort of speaking up, that's why you're not getting to where you need to go. So sometimes it's not just the art that needs to change. And I can say I've seen thousands of artists, hundreds of artists who have amazing artwork yet aren't doing anything with their artwork, where they're struggling and they're trying to find the work and the jobs. And a lot of the time it goes, well, you got the talent, but you don't have the confidence. It's got to be a good combination. I think it's just going to help you get that much further. And I truly do. And the next thing that I think is very important is handling pressure. If you don't have the ability to handle pressure, this career of just, number one, being a freelance artist, being an entrepreneur, if that's what you want to be, or just do these things, if you don't have the ability to handle pressure, it's going to be even harder for you too, because you're going to collapse every time something arises. You're just going to it's going to just make your days so hard, so bad, so frustrating that what's the point? Why am I even doing this? This is just, I can't handle it. So you got to be able to be the boiling pot that can sort of just like simmer and start to have stuff happen. And if it gets to the sort of pressure and it starts to boil, that water starts to boil and it starts to come out, but you have the ability to just turn that knob down a bit and release all the bubbles and everything else and turn it down and let it get a little bit cooler, let it get just a little bit calmer now. That's what you have the decision to make. You get to do that. And that's where the pressure comes in. Or are you just going to keep like flowing and just kind of let it bubbling? No, you're in control. You're going to wait for someone else. Hey, someone else, turn the knob. Stop all this pressure from coming out of me. Stop it. Help me, help me, help me. Instead of you go, wait a minute, maybe I'm part of this. Maybe I'm the one who's causing a lot of my own pressure and I need to release it. And you need to start to just let that go. It's not going to be easy, but that's what you got to do. It's not just working on your art form. It's not just working on whatever it is else you do. It's just about these things. Can you handle the pressure? Are you willing to just kind of bring it on and say, yeah, it's going to be hard. I'm going to fail. That's not going to work out. I'm going to fail in my drawings. I'm going to fail in business. I can fail in relationships. I can fail here. fail there. These are things that are going to happen. And this is where the openness to it comes in. This is where just the surrender aspect comes in. Just to allow yourself just to experience this and just know that this is what's happening. It's not ideal. It's not what I want, but this is what's happening. Otherwise, I'm in this situation. I need to have a little bit more confidence, and I'm never going to forget one of the members of the Silver Drawing Academy, Janelle, who never spoke up in any course, see her there every single session, and didn't want to speak up because of her lack of confidence. And we talked about confidence, and that was my daughter's word for the year, confidence, to build that. And she spoke up, and because she spoke up, not only was it found it to be easy and to let stuff out, but what it did was it sparked almost like a whole flood of other people wanting to speak up who had never spoken before with the same feeling. Hey guys, raise your hands, speak up. We got to speak up. You got questions, you got to speak up. No one really raising their hand until, she then spoke, and then everyone started to come through. That's how it works. It's just, did it hurt? Does it hurt? No, at the end of the day, it's no big deal. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. And I got the answer that I wanted, and that's even better because I had the confidence to speak up. And even go through that pressure that you're forcing on yourself, that you work through that pressure, because that's what it is. You have pressure. Oh my God, this might happen. And you go, and you're doing that. You're building up this anxiety, this pressure, and you just got to let it go. And by doing that, you'll start to see that things will start to be a little bit more open for you. The seas start to calm down a bit. The water's not so rough anymore. You're not getting pounded all the time by waves. It's just not happening. What's happening is that oftentimes you're not allowing yourself enough time to get yourself out far enough into the ocean where it's nice and calm. You're staying on the surface. You're staying at the front between where the sand meets the water, and you just keep getting hit with those waves, and you just, oh my God, it's too cold. Oh my God, it's getting too deep. Oh my God, it's this, whatever it's going to be in your mind. Oh my God, there's probably a shark out there. Whatever it is, these are the things that you're telling yourself in your mind, and is always stopping you and keeping you stuck at the sand and where the wave and the sand meets. When you get out there, break through those waves, break through those barriers, do that through confidence. You do that through eliminating pressure. You get out there, and then it becomes calm. And you go, and every now and again, there's going to be those waves, that are going to come, and it's going to be pretty loud out there in the ocean. It's not always a perfect, restful place. Your life's not always going to be perfect and restful. It's just not possible. But there's always going to be wind. My tree blew down, and my big, beautiful tree blew down in my backyard and took down some of my wall. It was a beautiful tree. It just couldn't handle the wind on that day. All the other trees survived that day, but that one tree, it wasn't his day. But I tell you what I'm going to do with that tree. I'm going to do my best to lift my big, beautiful tree back up and hope that whatever, that tree, that thing will come back to life and it'll continuously blossom. But I know that I need to help it. And that's where you got to figure for yourself and know for yourself, I got to help myself. I got to help myself build up my confidence. I got to help myself build up my belief, the understanding of pressure. I got to fight and work through these things. That's what I got to do. All right. So these are the things that I just kind of wanted to share with you today. Thanks again, all of you guys, for being part of the Silver Drawing Academy, and just kind of keep doing what you're doing. Keep showing up. Because you know how great as we start to see the community just keep building and more people showing their faces. And I love when people start to show their faces on the camera on Zoom and stop and not doing the camera. Just expose yourself, share yourself, show who you are. Be a part of it. That's part of it. Part of it is allowing yourself to even be seen on the camera, right? Because now that's part of confidence. That's part of what are you telling yourself? What's that thing in your mind that you're telling yourself that you got a camera, but you can't even turn it on because you don't want people to see you? Why? What, you haven't put on makeup? What, because your room's a little messy behind you or something? What is it? What's the thing that's stopping you? What have you started and put in your head to stop you from allowing yourself to just say, I'm releasing this pressure. I'm going to be more confident. I'm going to show up. I'm going to show who I am. And that's what you do. That's what you do. All right. So that's it. Make it a great week, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Take care.